about something JP Morgan said, as well as Ryanair in today's daily financial news. Let's get into it. Today is Monday, July 24th. And what I want to first do is talk about this free event. Yes, folks, I am hosting a free event on August 13th. It is limited to the first 500 registered guests. Now, what are you going to get at this free event? I am basically going to answer two questions that I got at a meetup last week in Mountain View, California. The questions were, A, could I rebuild our portfolio today starting from zero? And the answer to that is, of course not. Over the last 22 years, there has been a unique set of circumstances. We have made some incredible timing adjustments. So no, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Olivia and I could rebuild our portfolio starting from scratch today. Let's take that off the table. Second, that is actually the wrong question. It's not, hey, could you rebuild what you have today? The question should be, Michael, could you and Olivia, starting today, build something meaningful that allowed you to enjoy a similar lifestyle in 20 or 22 years? And the answer is, of course we could, especially if I had the knowledge that I have gained. It would not look the same. That's not the point. The point is, could I do it again? And the answer is absolutely. Would we have less units? Who knows? Would we stay in California? Who knows? But we could absolutely do it. So what are we going to do on this event on August 13th? I'm going to answer that question specifically, and then I am going to tell you in excruciating detail how I would go about starting today. We are going to, of course, talk about a buy box. We are, of course, going to talk about networking. We're going to talk about 1031 and private capital. We're going to talk about all the little pieces that made this story go, right? One rental at a time go. We are going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it for 2 hours. I am going to give you homework. I'm going to tell you what to do if you want to do it. So that is what we're going to do. I couldn't rebuild what we have today, but that's the wrong question. We could absolutely build something. And on Sunday, August 13th, from 8 to 10 a.m., we are going to go through that with 500 wonderful people. We already have 120 people registered, and I haven't marketed this at all. I talked about it one time. We have 120 people. It is my guess that this is full up by Friday, and it might be full up by Thursday. So if you do not want to miss out, register today. You can find the link in yesterday's daily financial news, or I will post it here once this live stream is done. Do not miss it. I go to meetups because I want to hear what the audience is talking about. And this is what you want to know. So I'm going to give you 2 hours of my time. I'm going to tell you what we would do, and then I'm going to give you homework if you're interested. Next, let's talk about a quote that I read from Steph Curry. This is a quote from Steph Curry that I think really holds the essence of who I am and what I hope to inspire others to do. Here we go. You've got to continue to make daily decisions to commit yourself to whatever you are passionate about or whatever you want to be successful at. You can't skip the grind. Folks, when I tell you 20 minutes a day for 90 days, I mean it. You don't get to take time off. You don't get to declare victory after 7 days. If you are obsessed, you can do it. If you are interested, stop wasting your time. Real estate investing is a skill. It is a skill that can be learned by anyone, but no one gets a free pass. No one starts real estate investing and understanding what a good or great deal is without doing the work. I am lucky that I am broken in a way that allows me to be obsessed and have fun. I understand. It is a superpower and I get it. But trust me, if you get a buy box, you start tracking, you start doing all of these things, it can become a habit. We have evidence and proof almost every day that it works. Mark, congratulations on your last deal. We know what it takes to write good or great offers, disrespectful offers. We only write great offers. Mark, your card will go out in the mail today. Folks, do you want it or not? Now, I happen to be talking about real estate investing. I think Steph Curry's quote plays for obviously basketball. It could relate to a better relationship between husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you want. It could be with your kids. It could be getting six-pack abs. It could become a better employee. It could become a better entrepreneur, musician, learning a second language. You have to become unbalanced. You need to become unbalanced and focused for a short duration so that you can build momentum. You can get an unfair advantage. If you want it, if you're obsessed, it is right there for you. Next up, let's talk about Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell is going to be the thing this week. On Wednesday, we likely get a 25 basis point raise, which I think will be a mistake. And if it happens, I will say I was wrong. 2, we will likely get a balanced Fed press release, and then the fireworks. The fireworks on Wednesday is the press conference. It is my belief that the press release is for show. It's a collection of 18 Fed presidents trying to be middle of the road, nothing there to see. But when Jerome Powell steps up to the microphone at 2:30 Pacific, I think, or maybe it's 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific, that's when the fireworks will happen. The question will be, how hawkish is Powell? Remember, there is no Fed meeting in August. They take their annual retreat to Jackson Hole. So the next Fed meeting is September. We have a stock market that is near all-time highs. Not really sure where it is, but it seems to be close. We have a jobs market that is still tight. How hawkish will he be? Things that I will be looking for. Will he say things like, we think we may need to do another one in September. On balance, we think another one's coming. Basically, how hard is he going to push the next one? That is where I am going to be looking at. At the end of the day, my big question for the Fed is, how hard will they push? Will they keep pushing and pushing and pushing until something breaks and then cut? Or will they take their foot off the gas and coast? It is my hope, again, I will say it and likely be wrong, that they pause again on Wednesday. I think there is enough in the system. I think there is enough cracks to be seen. I think there is enough real-time data to say you've done enough. I think this next one will be a raise, and how will you judge that as right or wrong? Do they cut in 9 months? That said, they could be really, really wrong and keep pushing higher. They may want to do that. They may want to go so far and to break something. Now, what does that mean, break something? Is it the economy, meaning unemployment spikes, bankruptcy spike? Is it another banking crisis? Do we find another Silicon Valley Bank, another Signature Bank, another First Republic? Do we find dozens of them? Do they start the great bank consolidation where we go from 4,700 to 2,700 institutions? Something out there could break. The Fed, let's be clear, if the Fed wanted to, they could break stuff. They could just keep pushing, 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 and then because they may feel that they know how to fix broken stuff, right? Cut rates. That is, what do I want to say? That is not good, but they could. So that is what I'm going to be looking for on Wednesday. How far does he want to push? Hey, I've got some good housing updates for you. We finally have meaningful increase in active inventory. Remember Logan from Housing Wire, I was going to try to say his last name, but It just escaped me. Logan from Housing Wire came out and said that in the last week, we saw 8,815 active listings. Remember, folks, we're heading into the slow season, right? Active listings should increase. We are seeing interest rates as of last week be roughly 7%. We now, this is wild. I think, well, at least I think this is wild. Last week's inventory reporting of single-family homes of 479,273 is the high water mark for the year. Think about that. That's the high water mark for the year. So again, what we are likely going to see is days on market. It's often called DOM, days on market, are going to rise substantially. But let's not let the fear mongers and the doomers get us scared. Let's talk about reality and comparison to history. So the low water mark for days on market was 14 days. That was in 2022. Today, we are roughly 18 days on market. So again, if you wanted to be a doomer, you could say days on market have increased 28%, and you would be accurate. But Michael, tell me what the largest days on market were in the Great Recession. Great question. Actually, you know what? Let's see how good you are at just wild ass guessing. I want you to guess right now, so get ready. What is the highest days on market reported? And I'll tell you the year, 2011. What was the highest days on market reported in 2011? I'll give you a couple of seconds to type in your answer. Go ahead and if you're watching this on replay, hit pause. If you're watching this live, let's get the comments going. Go ahead and guess a number. Let's see what people got. Ooh, Jesse's at 123. Jack's at 37. Ryan's at 158. You guys are pretty good at this. All right, so the answer for the highest days on market posted in 2011 was 101 days. So anybody guessed over 100? Congratulations. That is a long, long time. So the average days on market in 2011 were 101. So 18 is roughly 18% of the 2011 peak. The other thing to realize is we have days on market, but we also have months of inventory. Those are actually two very different metrics. Months of inventory is a supply and demand equation. Today, months of inventory is 3.1. Do you know what the high water mark for months of inventory was? This was in 2008. In 2008, months of inventory peaked at 10.4. 10.4 months of supply. Today we're at 3.1. Not to be outdone, in 2009 the high water mark was 8.8 months, and then 2010 was 9.4 months. So don't let any doomer tell you that what's happening right now is like the Great Recession, because they are being intellectually dishonest and wrong. So again, we are at 3.1 today. So again, net, my opinion has been the same for the last couple of months. If rates stay at 7, inventory stacks up, you and I get to write disrespectful offers. You and I get to find motivated sellers. 7% interest rates are awesome because the market slows down. You feel me? That's what happens. If rates tick down to 6.5 or below, I believe the marginal buyers come off the sidelines and it's more competitive. Interest rates matter. As investors, as people who are doing the work, you and I should want 7% interest rates the rest of the year. We need to slow this train down. We need to find who needs to sell versus who wants to sell. That's what we need. That's what, frankly, we gotta heal this broken housing market, and 7% rates can do that over time. Let's talk about some updates from JP Morgan first, Ryan Ayer next. JP Morgan is expecting a US recession to start in Q4 of 2023. If I'm correct, JP Morgan is also the firm that is estimating that the excess savings that we all have will be run out in Q4, likely why they're calling a recession. Also the restarting of student loans. There's a lot of things coming that show that discretionary spending and savings, all of that could be dwindling as we get to the end of the year. So JP Morgan's calling a Q4 recession. I got to tell you, I'm not there yet. I obviously called it start in Q2 and was wrong and admitted it. I am not yet ready to call a Q4 recession start, but I am thinking about it. Next up, Ryanair. Ryanair, don't know if you know this, but is the largest airline provider in Europe by number of seats sold. They have come out and said that high inflation and rising rates will start to slow travel in the second half. To me, this feels very much a European challenge. I'm not sure United, American, North American based airlines are seeing the same thing. Inflation is rolling over. My hope is we are at the terminal rate or just about the terminal rate. But we need to watch. It is very clear that revenge travel is a thing and has started in a big way. We've seen airlines like Delta, United, and American all beat. We've seen hotels beat. So again, travel seems to be going crazy. And I spent more time at airports than I like the last month. Packed. Every seat sold, packed. It is something to see. So next up, if you want to be ready for this free event, again, totally free. You don't have to do anything. I just want to talk to you about if you are obsessed and you want to come prepared to the event, you have a couple of things that you might want to do. You don't have to do these, but if you want to take it to the next level, you might. One, if you simply want to test me out, get a feel for me, you can buy my buy box deep dive video. It's 2 hours. It goes through 5 examples of students sharing theirs in tweaking. I give you the basics of the buy box. If you want to come prepared for the event on the 13th of August, buy that, do the work ahead of time, and you will get you should get a lot more out of that 2-hour session. It's like reading the chapters ahead of time. If you really want to get after that and you are obsessed, not interested, you should buy the course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time, for $3.99. You'll get $100 in free goodies, which could include the buy box video. So hey, kind of a 2-for-1 there. And you'll get even more because we're going to talk about the buy box and networking and spreadsheets and math. All of those things are in the course. I am telling you, the $3.99 course is the thing that is helping thousands of people. This free event is going to be little pieces of that entire course, pleading, begging, hoping that you are obsessed and willing to spend 20 minutes a day. You can't become good at your craft unless you are obsessed. I am here to help. I will show you the way. I will show you exactly how Olivia and I would build a meaningful portfolio today. It will be different than what we built over the last 20 years, but likely just as impressive and likely just as financially free. So hopefully you take this opportunity to at least register for the free event. Again, it will not shock me if this is sold out by Thursday or Friday. If you really want to come prepared, either spend $47 and do the 2 hours, or buy the course at $3.99, get the buy box and maybe the mastermind event, and get ready to do the work. Come prepared, get your buy box, do these things. So I hope to see you there. Again, Mark, congratulations for getting your card. If you want to know any more about me, my entire 15-year story is in this book. If you are in the journey already and it doesn't feel like it's moving fast enough, good news. I got 15 real estate conversations in here from other millionaires with other strategies that you can read along the way. So take care, have fun. Bye.